Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Lionsbridge FC Soccer. Welcome to the friendly confines that are Pomoco Stadium. Lionsbridge FC currently riding a 3-game winning streak here at home, and they've got a big one tonight to test that winnability here at Pomoco. I'm Rob Smith. Joining me in just a moment, Kevin Darcy in the booth, but let's talk about that 3-game winning streak as LBFC has been on an absolute tear here on this turf. Last Wednesday, the team played against DC United, their U23 squad, in a friendly. Travis Cooke put up 3 goals in the first hat trick in Lionsbridge FC history, and Mr. Cooke actually sits atop the Lionsbridge FC scoreboard with 10 goals in his career here in Newport News. But that game is in the past, and it was a friendly. Tonight's game is huge, and it certainly matters for the standings in the USL League 2 South Atlantic Division. NC Fusion comes into tonight's contest with 14 points on the season. Lionsbridge FC trailing just by a singular point with 13. And a win tonight would catapult Lionsbridge FC into first place, or at least potential to sit atop the table going into the final 4 contests of the year. The other game we're going to be watching tonight from up in the booth on the scoreboard is the game in Johnson City, Tennessee, as the Otters of Tri-City are hosting our crosstown rivals Virginia Beach United in a game where Virginia Beach can pull something out of their hats. Lionsbridge FC, should they win tonight, will sit atop the table like I mentioned. So tons that needs to happen between now and the end of the season, but playoff implications are full and everywhere. We're going to see a whole lot of great soccer starting in just a moment. Let's go ahead and head on into the booth with Kevin Darcy. Kevin, welcome to the booth and welcome to an SATURDAY night in Pomoco Stadium in Newport News. A beautiful one at that. Kevin, how are you doing this evening?
Hey, I'm doing great, man, and what a night to be a Lionsbridge FC fan and a soccer fan overall. What a matchup, you know, playing for first place tonight.
Tonight is a huge game for Lionsbridge FC. I just mentioned the importance of it. We'll get into that in a moment as the fans come into Newport News, into Pomoco Stadium, for what is a game that includes 2 very good soccer teams playing for first place in the South Atlantic Division. As we get into that, Kevin, what are you most looking forward? Before we get to keys, before we get to players to look forward to as a whole, what are you most looking forward to this evening?
I'm looking for an attitude out of Lionsbridge FC here. They've been on a nice roll. I mean, a great result in a friendly match with DC United just recently. Good match prior to that. So they're on a good roll here result-wise. But tonight, it's a home game. It's in front of a big crowd. Beautiful weather. Everything is laid out for a good performance. They have to find their way tonight. Some success early, you know, get into the match, take hold of some areas of play that we'll talk about in a bit. But they just have to be the better team. They got to be the home team. They got to hold down things here.
Well said, Kevin, as we get into our starting lineups here and opening uniforms for both sides. You see a couple of new faces for Lionsbridge. James Ellis to be noted. Jonah Kagen, who's recently joined the squad. We'll talk about the bridge in just a moment. But first, I want to get into the visitors coming from NC Fusion, the artist formerly known as the Carolina Dynamo. Starting things off right there with the ball, Bruno Lappa and Cameron Joyce behind them. I believe that's number 4, Faisal Almubaslat. On the outside here, we see Joao Silva, Joey Desart, Mark Hoppler. In the back 4 will be Eddie Folds, Nick Spielman, John Lucchesi, and Tater Renhack. In goal today, Josh Perryman, and away we go in Newport News. The men in white starting the contest. Carolina going to go from left to right here in the opening frame. And the home team, Lionsbridge FC, going right to left, rocking the blues and blacks this evening. Blue tops, black stripe on the top, white striping down the middle of the jerseys, white letters, and gray socks with a variety of boots. Forwards tonight, Brown and Jacquel. For Lionsbridge FC in the midfield, the powerhouse that is Emeka Eneli. The possession hogs of Adrian, Rebollar, and JP Scearce. The enforcer Ivan Militar there joins them in the midfield, and on the back line, Charlie Ferguson, Luke Staats, Gideon, Betz, and Jonah Kagen. First opportunity for the Bridge gets booted out of play for a corner kick, and Richard Dearle, we wearing the highlighter orange, sponsored by Bic, it seems, all the way on the other side of the field. Dearle for the Bridge in goal. So first opportunity early. Luke Brown on the outside. We'll get into what our thoughts are on the starters after this. Gideon Betz gets his head on it. Cleared for a moment. Scearce sends it in, and the opportunity is squandered. Chasing after it, a good through ball, and great defense there is Rebollar. Rebollar looks like he lost his shin guard there. Is going to have to try back and get it, as he lost his socks as well. And now that things have settled down, Kevin, you've heard your starting group. And who's your player to look out for, your key player to watch this evening?
Yeah, I've got my eye on Scearce in midfield. Tonight, it looks to be from the opponent that they're going to play 3 in midfield. We traditionally play a 4-4-2, so 2 central. Going to be outnumbered by a player in there. So we're going to have to see if Scearce can sit a little bit defensively when the ball turns over, be a presence in front of the center backs, and make sure we keep counterattacks and transition from hurting us tonight.
Well said. Tonight's player to watch brought to you by Nike. Nike is the official uniform provider of Lionsbridge FC. You can check out Nike styles for the soccer player in your home at Nike.com. Just do it. Nike, just do it.
You know, Rob, it was a good example on the first possession. Rebollar really worked back and stopped the counterattack chance with a slide tackle. But it looks like a commitment from our midfield to play both sides of the ball, and that's going to be real important.
Absolutely, Kevin, you have that back line, really anchored in by the group of Staats and Betz, with the youngins on the outside there, those being Jonah Kagen and Charlie Ferguson, college-age boys on the outside, backing out the wing. But yes, absolutely getting the help from Rebollar and Scearce. And Scearce really came into his own, had a great game against Tobacco Road last Saturday, and we're hoping to see more of that this evening.
For sure. Yeah, you made mention of Staats and Betz. I mean, they've been a terrific pairing, from 2 or 3 games ago where they started out together and have really organized and set the tempo for the back line. The outside backs of Kagen and Ferguson have done the job. They like to get forward, young guys that can run a bit and get into the attack. So I think it's a good group, and see how they function tonight.
Another offensive opportunity missed there for Lionsbridge, and had a good conversation with head coach Chris Wally and captain Ivan Militar before the contest about what to expect tonight and how their season has gone. We'll get to the importance of this game as we really trickle into the later stages of it, but opportunity here for Almubaslat, cleared, and here comes a chance quickly thrown in for the White Tops. Ball slowed down. Now is Renhack. Renhack will clear, and they'll reset. That conversation with Chris Wally and Militar, just really the thing I took away from that conversation, Kevin, I was talking to you before we got started tonight, is how important and how crucial these games are at home are. Not just because it's important to win at home and take advantage of not having to travel, but that this crowd that comes out to Pomoco Stadium every night is unlike any other that these guys have seen around the league.
Yeah, if you can't find energy to play here at Pomoco Stadium with the numbers that are drawn here crowd-wise, then you're going to have a hard time performing anywhere. I mean, what an atmosphere. I know as a former player, I loved playing in front of crowds, especially crowds that have good energy and will break out the wave from time to time, which we've seen, Rob, on occasions.
Absolutely.
So
got a clutch turnaround guy right there in the middle. You got to have one of those.
Yeah.
And,
but at the end of the day, if you're going to be a team that's going to compete in a division and look to win that division crown, you have to win your home games, and you should win your home games. Good teams win at home and then try to get a point on the road.
Be big to take advantage of the home field advantage. Another thing that this team, I think it's an advantage for this squad. You can really kind of go into the depths as to why, but this is a more narrow field than any other. About as narrow as one can get in this league, and I think Lionsbridge does a solid job of playing the field to their advantage.
Yeah, I mean, tactically, you got to understand your surroundings and your field that you're going to play on. This being narrow, you know, Coach Wally decides to play pretty direct at times. You know, he finds a good mix of it, but they've gotten real good at hunting second balls, you know, some knockdowns that come off either defenders or their own, you know, their own forwards, picking up balls in the final third and finding different ways to generate attacks. It's not always in the build-up, Rob. You know, you got to be resourceful a bit, you know, look for those second balls and, you know, just be dangerous in multiple ways.
Good one touch there. Ball in from Militar. The crowd could feel a little bit of pressure there. Militar will try to throw the ball in quickly. Another chance. Ball pinballs around. Eneli will capture. He'll give it up to Ferguson. Ferguson shoots wide right.
Well done, and we talked about that earlier. The outside backs, Kagen is really getting into the attack early and often, and then we saw the left back come on for Lionsbridge and have a crack there. So Ferguson got himself forward, stayed attached to the build-up, and almost scored the goal.
Other two keys tonight, Kevin. I think it's going to be huge to limit turnovers for this team at home.
Yeah, transition wins games, Rob. You know, so definitely being good in transition, you know, on the counterattack, but then also being able to, you know, contain their counterattack at times, because it's going to happen, especially when we throw players forward.
Up the field go the bridge. That's Jacquel. Now another throw in from Militar. Last key to success here, at least on my note sheet, is limiting bad fouls, you know, within your defensive zone.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Rob. You know, we talked about it the last couple games. We've tended to give away fouls in and around the 18 or 25 yards out, and, you know, we got hurt on a couple of those. So tonight, you know, just having a little sense about us on where we're tactically going to stop the play at times, you know, where we're going to foul at times. Those are decisions that higher-level players have to make, and they have to make them correctly, because you can't put yourself in bad spots, and free kicks can haunt you.
Truly the case. Here's a dangerous chance for the artist formerly known as the Carolina Dynamo. All day I've been trying not to call them the Dynamo, as they're the Fusion now.
Long standing franchise is the Dynamo, going way back into the 90s.
I believe the change has to do with the addition of a couple of sports to the program, from what I understand. I believe when I was reading up, lacrosse was one of those sports, and there might be one other that I'm missing. There's just one big fusion program.
Huh.
I could be absolutely wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I saw.
Could be right also.
Who's to say?
Yeah.
If you know at home, let me know on Twitter at HitsMeRob. I don't know if Kevin has a Twitter, but I certainly do. Opportunity here for the bridge. A shot on and wide right once again. And sitting in goal with his hands up, the defender, Jason Perryman, just wondering where his defensive line went.
Yeah, they weren't connected.
It's almost as if a vanishing act had just occurred.
Well, one thing you're seeing early is that Lionsbridge is really counter-attacking with numbers. I mean, they're sending guys, the outside backs are getting forward. You know, the center backs are left to manage the numbers, and they've done a good job with it. But, you know, they're bombing numbers forward. They're playing real positive here at home. Fans
begin the rumble. Ball up and lofty, looking for Betz. Back, looking for Eneli now and cleared. Here comes a counterattack, stopped by Kagen. Kagen pushes to the outside and finds Brown, who's looking for his man Rebollar, and finds him in the deep corner. Going to get cleared out of play by Silva. The throw in to come from the man in the armband. That is Militar in the 8. Brown on the 18. Brown trying to get fancy with it, looking for Militar, who's wide open. Now an aggressive play from number 10 in white, Lapa pushes forward, and Betz is there. Staats gives it up off the head of Militar. Brown. And 21 folds. Aggressive play. I think Betz wanted it. Rebollar took it. Or was that Scearce who took it? Either way, a little bit of a friendly fire bump.
Yep.
Beautiful night this evening in Newport News. Honestly, I say this almost every night. I didn't say this on Wednesday because Wednesday's weather was simply atrocious, but almost every night we get a better weather night than we had the night before.
We'll take it.
And tonight is certainly no different. Tonight's weather report brought to you by the folks at Mosquito Joe. 78 degrees and sunny here in Newport News. Yesterday, the longest day of the year. Today, the second longest day of the year. Sunset 8:27, so for the majority of tonight's game, it should be relatively bright outside. Although the back half of the second half, so by my math, that's the final quarter of the contest, sun should be setting, and as that happens, the temperature will drop to somewhere around 70 degrees by the time we are heading out of here. Say goodbye to mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas with Mosquito Joe's effective mosquito control solutions. It's time to start enjoying your yard again. Satisfaction guaranteed with Mosquito Joe. Outside is fun again. Eneli now back. And to set the offense up is Ferguson to build possession for the boys in blue. Now forward looking for Scearce and unable to find him. The ball is turned over. Coming back are the White Tops. And good bit of tic-tac-toe passing. Gets the ball to Lapa. Lapa now forward, a chance and another opportunity. They put it in the back of the net. I'm not sure what the call is. And the official gives it a goal at the end of the day, and they'll go have a conversation about it. I think the score came from Almubaslat, and they're going to have a conversation in the deep corner with the assistant referee. Kevin, what did you see out there?
It looked to be that their right attacking player ended up finishing the goal, was a step ahead at least on the ball when it was first shot or played. So I'm not sure, given the fact that the AR never put a flag up, if it's going to end up going that way.
They're having a conversation about it still. And they do call it a goal. So 1-0 our score. Goal goes to Almubaslat in the 12th minute. Kind of an anticlimactic goal.
Yeah, they took advantage of a counter, won a ball, sprung some numbers forward, played a 1-2, got it through to the left-sided player who served it. We'll try to have a go on goal, and sometimes the ball beats around, and unfortunately for Lionsbridge, ends up in our goal.
So now the Bridge have to attack and try to put something on. Shot in by Scearce. I think he was frustrated with the official in his way. Ferguson now. Ball touched out of play. Will stay on this side.
Certainly never like to give up an early goal like that, Rob, but, you know, I think from all early minutes of this game, I mean, our urgency is good, our play is good, we're getting into their end time and time again. Just got to stay focused and keep doing what we do well here and just pull back that next goal.
Rebollar up and down goes, and a penalty kick won by Emeka Eneli. You imagine it'll be Ivan Militar to take it. Number 4, Almubaslat, who just scored the goal, I think is pleading his case, and as is number 10, Bruno Lapa. I'm not sure who the foul was on. I want to see that again if I can get it in there. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was one of those awkward fouls. I don't think the intention of the defender was to foul, but he kind of blocked the shooter's leg as he went to strike it and kind of caught him from behind. And
looked like an aggressive tackle there. I think it was number 10, Bruno Lapa, with the call.
Kind of hooked his leg, didn't he?
Just a little bit. Kind of came in on the inside. And the official's still having a conversation about it. And the assistant referee on the outside changes his mind. So I'm still not sure what's going on. Now everybody's in the box. And what could you think is going on down there, Kevin? I think it's a cluster of confusion.
Yeah, so, the center official should just handle it. He saw it. He called it. He believed in it. Certainly it's okay to consult with the outside ARs, but, if you believe it was a foul, it's a foul. I mean, so you don't have to second-guess yourself, right?
Never once seen a drop ball like that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think that was part of the game anymore. See those on a Saturday in rec, but not too often in a real match.
Ball up, they might call him offsides. They don't, it's in the net! They score! Thibaut Jacquel says we don't need a penalty kick. We got the goal, 1-1.
What a great answer by Lionsbridge with some adversity on a what looked to be a PK getting called back, but within a minute, Rob, answered it on a great header, equalized the game at 1.
And you know what that means here at Pomoco Stadium when Chick-fil-A is involved and Thibaut Jacquel is involved. You're pretty sure you're going home with a breakfast sandwich if you're here at the stadium. Chick-fil-A, the official jersey sponsor of Lionsbridge FC. Every time the Bridge scores on a header, fans here at Pomoco go home with a coupon for a free breakfast sandwich. What better way to celebrate a win than with Chick-fil-A? Eat more chicken. For the third game in a row, Lionsbridge has scored on a header now. I think it might be for the fourth game in a row. They've been on a roll with those promotions, but even still, great focus. I think, Kevin, to settle things down there, as the goal came in the 16th, and I'm not sure who the assist came on. We'll wait for the word from our squad in the back. But something that I've noticed later here in the season that we saw a lot of at the beginning of the season is that when the boys in blue or the men in black, the guys at home weren't getting their calls, they were starting to get dejected. They started to focus on the referees as opposed to the game. And I think that's very much a situation that they could have let that happen again, and they certainly didn't. Jacquel finished it, and we've got ourselves an equal game with plenty of time to play.
Yeah, you're talking about a level of maturity. Difference between amateurs and professionals is, guys can really handle the moment, handle adversity, just continue to play with a good rhythm. I said that after the PK was called back, that just need to keep playing because they look quite good early in the match, and, back to 1-1 here, and I think you're going to continue to see that spirit and that attacking mindset and approach and urgency, and, it's a great answer.
So he felt great up here in the booth. You think you're going to get a penalty kick, and I know it's dejecting up here as Chris Wally's trying to make some adjustments here on the fly, working his team into saying, hey, let's not give up that counter goal that we just scored here. But in such a crucial game, that equalizer coming as early as it did, definitely something that you like to see. You don't want to be playing from behind for a long portion of the contest.
Yeah, I think it's just to get this game equalized. You think about the first goal by the Fusion, questionable, possibly offsides. We'd have to see a replay on that one to determine if it was or not. Then a penalty kick called back that could have went our way. But to equalize, I think, puts this game back where it needs to be, a battle for first place, and you don't want to see anybody gaining an unfair advantage that way.
20 minutes into the contest, Dearle restarts. Quite a number of fans out here tonight. Sub 80-degree temperatures, no rain in the forecast, fireworks post-game, a game for the top spot in the division. What more could you want? Ball on the outside here inside the box now, an opportunity for the Fusion to go ahead. Almubaslat ricochets off Emeka. Won by Jacquel.
Rob, it's good to see Eneli coming back and helping defensively. One of the ways to fixed numbers in midfield if they're down a player with, again, NC Fusion playing 3 in the middle, Lionsbridge playing 2, is to bring your outside midfielder in with the ball on the opposite side just to give that cover and give that extra defender when the ball turns over.
So this is not the only USL League 2 game going on tonight. It's an opportunity coming here from the Fusion, and this might be one of those fouls in offensive territory you're trying to avoid. Not quite in your attacking third, but depending on who you've got taking that free kick, certainly could be a dangerous opportunity.
Yeah, and I didn't even think it was much of a foul, but what happened was he extended his arm, so he made it look like it was probably more than what it was. But, it's close enough in that they're going to get, a chance in our box area off the service, and, got to be able to clear this and negate this opportunity.
Ball up. Headed away, and the foul called. Foul on Tater Renhack. I think it might have been Lucchesi. Lucchesi with the foul. Jacquel cleared. So as I was saying, Kevin, this is not the only USL League 2 game going on tonight. Saturday nights are pretty busy around the league. Here comes a chance for the Fusion. It's like every time I try to talk about what's going on around the league, the Fusion try to kill that conversation pretty quickly, but now we can finish that. As it's also a pretty busy night in the South Atlantic, which is the tightest division, continuing to be the case, as the top 5 teams are all within 3 points. At the end of the night tonight, if things go the right way, the top 5 teams could all be within 2 points at the end of the night. So things can only get tighter, especially if things go the way Lionsbridge FC wants them to. And at the moment, that is the case, as the only other there's 2 other games going on tonight. One of them is Wake FC against Tobacco Road. Those 2 teams at the bottom of the table. Should Tobacco Road FC win, then things would be looking relatively bleak in the playoff picture for both of those squads. So that contest seems relatively inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. The game we are going to be scoreboard watching tonight, I mentioned at the very beginning of the broadcast at the top of the hour, is the contest in Johnson City, Tennessee, between the Tri-City Otters and our crosstown rivals, the Virginia Beach United. Right now, United up 2-0 22 minutes into the contest, which, it's like being a Mets fan and rooting for the Yankees. It's like that crosstown rivalry. But this is exactly what the Lionsbridge team wants. They're looking for a win from Virginia Beach United to tighten up the table just a bit, as Tri-Cities FC seems to be the team everybody is chasing. Ball out of play, and the Peanut Gallery has some words for the assistant referee.
Yeah, and I think we've had the opportunity to see all the teams except the Tri-City Otters. Is that right, Rob?
We've played Tri-City, just not here at home.
Yeah. So, the eye test from us here in the booth, I think without a doubt the class of the division are Lionsbridge, the guys from NC Fusion, and along with NCFC. I thought the other teams, although, we didn't get a result every time out, we were the better team on the field, and, the game's not always just and goes the way maybe we would deem it should. But the eye test, I think, tells us that these 2 teams, they're partners down in NCFC, I think are the ones who are gunning for the division. Looking
at the table here, there's a lot of intricacies that make things very interesting as the season concludes. Tri-City has already played the majority of their home games. They'll close most of their season on the road. And the Fusion tonight, I believe, this is their last road game. I think their last 5 are at home. So some teams that Tri-Cities, for example, has plenty of road games to play, and those are the harder ones. The Fusion, however, finishing most of their season at home, where you relatively think you have better chances of getting the results you want.
Yeah, tough to travel. Traditionally, especially the high amateur level, or what we'd call USL 2, getting the right roster to be able to travel. You know, we're talking about non-paid players, so sometimes work gets in the way, or school or family stuff that, you know, becomes a priority. But, you know, home games are usually super well attended, or, you know, the rosters are pretty deep with guys that want to be on the game day roster. But, you know, going on the road at this level is not always the easiest. You don't always get your top players.
Fans giving jeers to another fan who couldn't quite clear the fencing. A chance up and over into the beer garden. Dangerous opportunity. Dearle's reaming out his defenders. Not happy with the way Staats and Betz were able to handle that.
Yeah, I'm not even sure it was as much Staats and Betz as the play developed, you know, in midfield. You know, the numbers got pretty good. They found a target guy who was kind of in the seam, who laid off a ball, and should have been a goal there, close in.
Just a bit high. Table looking like this as we head into the 27th minute. NCFC with 4 games remaining. They are not in action tonight. Everybody else is. So they've got 4 games remaining after today. So at the top of the table, 5-5 record, 15 points. Right behind them, Tri-Cities with 7 games under their belt. Tonight beat number 8. They have 14 points. Fusion with 8 games. After tonight, it'll be 9. They also have 14 points. Lionsbridge FC, this is their 10th game of the season with 13. Virginia Beach United in their 9th game with 12, and then Wake and Tobacco Road with 11 and 7 points respectively. We'll have a little bit better idea of what the table is looking like going into the last bit of the season after this evening. And we will continue to scoreboard watch and update you as we see fit. Ball on the outside. Ball sent in. Jacquel is there. And to my best assumption, that ball was cleared.
It's a good ball driven into the near post low. Just caused the keeper to have to deal with it. His best play was just to knock it over the end line and concede a corner.
Comes a chance. Scearce looking for Militar on the cross post. Militar to take the cross. Up in the air. Scearce, Betz, Staats on the crossbar, and in the net they score again! Thibaut Jacquel says, I've got 2 for you. Number 2 from 22, and it's a 2-1 game for the boys in blue.
You know, Rob, I was just getting ready to comment as the scheme that the Fusion are playing defensively on corners is fully zonal. What you usually see is a blend between partial zone and man-to-man picking up key players, but they played a full zone there, and there was a lot of gaps to be had. The ball came down directly to a Lionsbridge player with, you know, probably 5 yards between him and another defender.
So to break it down, it went off the head of Scearce and then hit the crossbar and fell perfectly to the feet of Jacquel, who scores the unassisted deuce. And he says, hey, Travis Cooke, anything you can do, I can do better, as he's got 2 goals in the first half hour. And he's got plenty of time to potentially finish a hat trick, but more importantly, try to get this win for the boys at home. Good start here at Pomoco Stadium.
You mentioned it earlier, Rob. One of the things about Lionsbridge all season consistently is we've been good in the air. You know, we take advantage of crosses, we get on the end of crosses, we pick up second balls and knockdowns, and pretty resourceful in the box area, you know.
I think after a couple of losses to start the season, the biggest thing this team learned is that is important, to be good in the air on a very narrow field where crosses are going to be a regular thing. And being willing to put your body on the line is something that I think has progressed over the course of the season. It definitely was not the case come game 1 or 2 against Wake FC earlier in the year, but certainly now it seems like it's mind over matter.
Yeah, I love what you said, Rob. I think willingness is the key. It's really a mindset. I mean, you got to understand at this level, all the players should be pretty technical. All the teams should be able to put balls together and find a rhythm. It's finding different ways to get results, different ways to get goals, different ways to get chances. And a lot of times it's just being a little resourceful, making sure that we're getting stuck in and hunting second balls and doing the dirty work and figuring it out. It's about the result, and there's many ways to get it done.
Card being given to Militar. Militar, I think, pleading his case, but understanding the call from the official. I'm not sure what he did. Maybe I can get some more insight as to what that was about. From Emily, our digital media gal.
I like to use the term grinders. Along with being technically capable and having a good system, you got to grind. There's a lot of times in the game where it just calls for it. You got to be willing to do it. Going back to the word you used, Rob. So being good grinders, being willing to grind, being willing to put your body in there, all important components.
Minutes and change in the contest. Jacquel calling his own number, gives it up looking for Eneli. Loses it just a moment, and Scearce playing the wrong football. Although this is an American football field.
Tell you, not a bad foul. High up the field, gives time to organize and get the system back and settle in. Find their shape coming off of that foul.
Things have slowed down just a bit since the second goal. And you'd imagine, another handsy play by Scearce.
Get a booking for that.
I think he reached for it. Scearce said, please no.
Surprised with 2 straight fouls and his urgency to get stuck in on the player there. I think was why the ref was reaching, but thought better of it.
A little bit of a in-the-moment decision, but I certainly wouldn't be surprised if he picks one up here soon. If he's not careful, at least.
Yep, they call that persistent infringement, and if he fouls again anytime in the next short stretch of time, you for sure will see him in the book.
Rolled up towards the 18, off the head. Gonna have to catch it. I was expecting him to just push it over the cross, but Dearle corrals. Dearle seems to have a good head and shoulders over his opponent on the other side, Jason Perryman. I can't really tell the height from here, but Perryman does not necessarily look like the tallest keeper out there.
Yeah, and I think there's something to be said for that highlighter orange as well. Makes you look bigger.
Certainly more intimidating. I didn't bring my orange highlighter tonight, only the green and the pink and the blue.
They call that either highlighter or safety orange.
We'll have to have a conversation with him after the game if we get a win. I asked him for a clean sheet. He said, I'll do my best. So at least we'll maybe get a win. Ball inside, trickles by everybody. And here we go quickly on the counterattack. And winning it is Rebollar. Rebollar can't hold on to it for too long, though. Taken away by Almubaslat. Almubaslat and Joyce. Well, now Almubaslat leads the team in scoring, but coming into tonight's game, Almubaslat and Cameron Joyce, the 2 main scorers for the White Tops tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, Lionsbridge is doing a real good job of getting numbers around the ball defensively. Really, really quick to transition defensively. Really urgent to hunt in packs and defend in packs of players and blocks of players. It's been real encouraging to see their work ethic off the ball on the defensive side.
Somebody's getting a card. And that is number 6, John Lucchesi, in the 36th minute. And a free kick from number 10, Luke Brown, the Englishman. An opportunity. As Brown waits for his opportunity to go. The 22-year-old, formerly a striker at Hofstra. Brown, one of the better scorers on this team from Cambridgeshire, England. He'll be at the University of Maryland coming this fall, defending national champions. He'll join their squad, try and make him just a touch better.
Yeah, Luke's a real good, well-rounded player and a good guy overall. I had a chance to spend a little time with him this week at a soccer camp and just talk about his transition from, Hofstra now into Maryland, my former area there in Maryland. But he seems pretty excited to go play there. I think the style that Maryland plays, a little more possession-oriented, a little less direct like a lot of the northern schools are up in Hofstra and Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'll suit Luke's ability to play the game, and I think he'll fit in nicely there.
I'm going to give a shout-out to Josh Spencer out there watching at home. Josh, a Lionsbridge FC alumni, played with this squad last year and have himself a time. Maybe Josh Spencer just signed a new contract somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. I'm 95% sure we talked about it the other day, Kevin.
Yeah. Yep.
Spencer was with Grantham Town FC. He might still be there. Just another one of those alumni for this program who is doing big things nowadays. So shout out to him and thanks for tuning in. As for the rest of you, we appreciate you tuning in as well. Whether it's on Cox Your View here in the state of Virginia or on Facebook Live at the USL League 2 site. Coming towards the back end of the first half. Lionsbridge playing off a win here. Luke Brown. Ball thrown right into the dirt to Jacquel from Eneli. Jacquel will win that ball and out of play it goes. A corner kick on the near side. If it's on the near side, I would imagine it comes off of the foot of Luke Brown. But Militar decides to take it.
Let's see how they deal with this corner defensively. Again, it looks to be a full zonal setup. 4 guys across the 6, 3 on top stacked around the penalty spot area. Kind of give us a free run. Usually defenders will lock up physically, kind of hug and grab and foul numerous times before the ball's even played.
Ball played in. The Hungarian put it in low. Official says play on. Ball is cleared again. Almubaslat, Ferguson taken away. Now on the counterattack. Here comes 21 in white. That is Folds. Folds gives it up to his forward. Here comes a chance towards the 18. There goes Cameron up in the air through the uprights. It's 3 points in American football, and the crowd puts their hands up to signify that. But this is a game where you got to get it in the goal, not over it.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, what a good sequence by the Carolina team as they built numbers pretty quickly. They found their central forward or number 9 if you want to call it, who laid a ball back, a little double pass. The guy got in for a good crack about, 20 yards out. Just didn't do too well with the final shot. That's where I think, Rob, it shows up the number issue we have in midfield at times. We talked earlier in the game about, center backs dealing with that, but it's really the block of defenders in front of the center backs who have to be able to contain a counterattack and get behind the ball and be positioned so it's not a free run by the 3 central players from NC Fusion.
Absolutely. Now forward go. The bridge. Brown up to Jacquel. Jacquel will turn on the Jets. 22 looking for an assist this time. Maybe he'll call his own number. We'll see. Puts it inside the 6. And sent away. Militar picks up a sandy ball to throw back in. Jacquel, Militar, back to Jacquel. Now on to Mark Hoppler. Hoppler gets fouled. No, Lapa gets fouled. And Desart will push back.
Robin, to be fair a bit to Lionsbridge and Coach Wally, the choice of playing a 4-4-2 certainly offensively gives a big advantage because we're able to get numbers forward, and I think his focus is being good on the ball, being dangerous, causing the opposition trouble time and time again, which they've done. And sometimes you're going to gain some, you're going to have to give something up a little bit, and I think we're giving a little bit at times on the counter, but I think you live with that given the performance by the guys here in the first half.
No doubt. Ferguson touching up, trying to get cheeky with it. Almubaslat was right there, and Ferguson thankfully wins the ball. My estimation, it sounds like Virginia Beach United and Tri-Cities are in a 2-0 game in favor of the visitor United. Coming down to the final couple minutes of the half here. Ball up in the air, headed away, and cleared. There goes Jacquel. Jacquel getting some handsy treatment by Spielman. And I imagine that'll be the case for the second half in its entirety, that Jacquel, who's been the man that's killed them offensively, will see most of the defensive efforts.
If it's not, I'm not sure what they are thinking. They've got to do something to disrupt his rhythm and his ability to hurt them, offensively.
I honestly think that might be a good thing for the Lionsbridge offense. If they focus on Jacquel, that leaves opportunities for Brown and Eneli on the other side of the field.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they defend Jacquel. If they do try to sit a guy on him, maybe he shows up in some different areas, draws guys out wide, or draws them up a little higher up the field, or withdraws a little bit and just kind of makes them shift, creates other gaps in the field for other players to take advantage of, as you mentioned.
So we head into the halftime break, and you start thinking about your halftime snacks. Think about going to Lidl the next time you do your grocery shopping for the game at home. Lidl is the official grocery store of Lionsbridge FC, as we see another not necessarily beneficial foul for the boys in blue, and an opportunity well inside the 18 will come after this ad read. Lidl is committed to providing customers the highest quality products at the lowest possible prices. Their everyday assortment features award-winning products and unique specialty items. Lidl also stands by its quality with its Lidl Love It guarantee. Shot over the crossbar, thankfully. So be sure to check out Lidl today.
I think Lionsbridge is probably happy looking at the way they've taken those quick free kicks. They just put it down and play. I thought they've been a little more dangerous, NC Fusion, on taking direct free kicks and putting services into some dangerous areas, but they opted for a quick restart that time and got nothing out of it.
One minute of extra time here going into the break. And Kevin, as we head into the break, what are your thoughts? So yellow card, I think is being assessed. I believe that is number 11, Joao Silva. And you can continue your thoughts, Kevin.
Yeah, well, if you're Lionsbridge, I think you got to be happy with the overall rhythm and ability to cause, offensive chances has been real good. I think your concern, once again, is just being able to be good on the counter attack, especially defensively. I think, in the counter attack chance offensively, the way we get numbers forward and we get Kagen on that flank and Ferguson on the left flank to, build their numbers into the attack, we're always going to be pretty dangerous that way. But the key is going to be just being able to contain NC Fusion on the counter.
Ball up in the air. Scearce. And settles. Man, imagine a clear. And maybe a counterattack before the end of the half. Not a lot of time left. Foul called on Betz and a booking for Gideon Betz.
That's not a bad foul there, Rob. And you'll take the booking there. Stop and play, 50 yards away from goal. It's not a bad spot. Gives them a chance to get numbers back behind the ball and get organized. They just need to kill this last seconds off.
Militar, Betz, Silva, and Lucchesi, all with bookings, 2 apiece. And Jacquel wants to stand right in front of that free kick.
Yeah, will be a test of the maturity level of those players that are carrying a card. Certainly you can't get a second one and play man down for their teams, but they're going to have to really think through things. That could encourage a sub sometime in the second half, knowing from the coaching standpoint that you don't want to put your team at risk with 4 guys carrying a card. But
Silva now. 6 men in white on the 18. Dearle looks for a clean catch. He'll fall on it, and the official will call the half. So 2-1 our score. Thibaut Jacquel with both for the boys back home. And we head into the break with 45 minutes of soccer. And at the moment, depending on how things happen in Tri-City and Virginia Beach, a spot at the top of the division. We'll be back in 15. You're watching Lionsbridge FC Soccer here at Pomoco Stadium. And welcome back to Newport News, Virginia. Pomoco Stadium, the host for tonight's contest. We've got 45 minutes in the books, 45 minutes to go, and across a couple of state lines in Tri-City, Lionsbridge FC is currently benefiting from a 2-0 score, where Virginia Beach United is currently on top of the Otters last time I checked by a score of 2-0, and that has huge implications for the South Atlantic Division, and we'll get into those implications as the second half continues. But Kevin, as we completed the first half, what are your thoughts on the squad's opening frame?
Excellent rhythm. I mean, excellent half overall. I mean, looked real comfortable in possession, looked real dangerous. Had several corners, which I think the way NC Fusion is defending them really plays into our hands. Able to score off a corner, able to be real dangerous off of corners. So I think everything was going the right way. We just have to, again, just make sure that we are ready to deal with the quick counter.
Lionsbridge FC going to be going left to right here in the second half. Eneli with an opportunity. Here come the bridge. They cross in. Brown is there, but it is cleared for Gideon Betz. Betz picked up a yellow in the first half. He's got to play with caution here. So that's typically what that yellow means. Not to assume you didn't know that at home, but just so we're all on the same page, right? Kagen wins the ball for the bridge. Cleared away.
Hey, Rob, I think this first 10 minutes is going to be really important to see who comes out with the approach to, either A, for NC Fusion to get themselves back in the game by trying to equalize, or, Lionsbridge guys to put another goal in and really to establish themselves.
Foul called. No big substitutions, and another stoppage there from the official. I think I missed that one. Kevin, what went down?
Just a foul on Jacquel. Kind of rode the guy, on his back a bit. Had both hands on him and certainly fouled him.
Silva now. So Almubaslat, Joyce, Silva up front. Ball inside, Betz. Spielman, Hoppler, Renhack, Lucchesi, Lapa, Desart, and Folds all in front of Jason Perryman. As for Chris Wally's Pride, Brown, Jacquel, Militar, Scearce, Rebollar, Eneli, Ferguson, Staats, Betz, and Kagen all in front of the highlighter. There's a chance for Thibaut, Jacquel, and off the fingertips of Perryman for a corner.
Yeah, and I was incorrect on that last one. It wasn't Jacquel on the foul. I believe it was Scearce.
Ball forward from Militar. Jacquel puts the ball off the fingertips of Perryman. He could taste the hat trick.
Good save by Perryman.
Jacquel and Perryman having a brief conversation here. Jacquel's inside. Still onside, however. He's corralled by 4 Fusion players. Ball up in the air looking for him, looking for Scearce now. Scearce will have to go corral, and out of play it goes for a goal kick.
Yeah, I just really don't understand, the Fusion team not making adjustments. They've been torched a bit on corners. I mean, even ones that haven't gone in the back of the net, we've had chances and been able to get to headers. That one lands in just the outside of the box area without either of the 6 or 7 zonal NC Fusion players getting to the ball. So I'm not sure what their thoughts are there, but it's playing into the hands of Lionsbridge.
Brown now. How now, Brown Cow. And the foul called. Ball from Brown off the post. A little bit of finesse here from the group. Onward goes Silva. Silva there with Kagen. Silva playing strongly on Kagen. Here comes a chance inside. Ferguson there. Falling on is Dearle. And Dearle got a quick embrace from Bruno Lapa on the forward side. Good read there by the highlighter.
Lionsbridge got to be a little better. We can't turn the ball over in our half in an effort to try to build out and to play the ball forward. We got to be more cautious, and they almost got us on a counter, on a turnover.
One of our keys to success tonight: limit turnovers, limit fouls within your defensive third. Ball kicked off the hand, clearly unintentional. I don't think the fans can appreciate that. His hand was at his side. '50th minute. And a foul called. That one's on Scearce. He's yelling 1, 2. That's number 3. He's pointing out the fouls, and Scearce will walk away with the yellow card.
Scearce certainly had it coming. You know, we talked in the first half about a couple consistent fouls that he had. He just had one a little bit earlier. You know, so I think that booking was coming his way, and now it's official.
So Scearce makes that the 5th card tonight. 3 for the home team, 2 for the visitors. It's not a stat you want to be leading in, but here we are. 52nd minute. Ball to be played from Silva. Dearle will go after it. And sees a lot of bodies. He's going to have to push off his defender, Scearce. After that, gets pushed beyond the baseline.
Yeah, I think Scearce, you know, has got to pick his spots here a bit in that role in the defensive midfield. You don't always have to win the ball. I mean, you can pass players off and need to pass players off at times. I mean, they're in a zonal shape, playing in a 4-4-2. You know, defensively dropped in, you know, at least another guy in there that you could pass a player off to. But, you know, he's pretty urgent. You can't fault his effort. You know, he wants to win the ball. He wants to compete. He wants to defend and put in some challenges. But, you know, right now he's carrying a card and he's got to think his way through that.
Ball being played around the midfield by the Fusion. This is the first of 2 meetings for this team this year. Jacquel now on the outside as numbers. 3-on-3, joining him Rebollar and Brown. Forward to Rebollar. Rebollar's got a chance on net and he lost it. He's got a wide open on the outside. Eneli flips the script. Going back to get his Charlie Ferguson. Ferguson will have to track just a bit to get it. Wins the ball and they'll reset all the way back to the highlighter, Dearle.
What a great sequence there, Rob. But Rebollar's first touch kind of let him down, took him wide of the goal, caused him to have to play a back pass instead of a penetrating ball toward goal.
Onward Militar. Now coming the other way. The outside Desart. Desart to Renhack. Settles in Eneli.
Good work by Lionsbridge there to get back behind the ball, especially on the strong side. Guys chase down the ball on that side, but I'd like to see Militar as the opposite-sided wide player get himself tucked in a bit more, get level at least, or even better to be behind the ball to provide a little bit of support and cover for Scearce as the holding midfielder.
Scearce now. A little bit of a handsy play. Scearce got the body and went down. Eneli has to get it. He does. Nutmegs his man and gets tackled. The official says that's a clean tackle. I tend to disagree, and so the fans at home. Kagen clears out of play, and that'll settle things down for just a moment, but the fans certainly not happy with that call.
Without a doubt, should have been a foul. I mean, you got to take care of a guy who, is the playmaker or one of the playmakers for Lionsbridge. He slots the guy, nutmegs him, starts to get into an advanced area and gets taken from behind, and no call. Those are usually pretty automatic.
You would imagine. Common sense fouls, certainly not common sense all the time.
Yep.
And the peanut gallery continues to pick up some noise.
I think they wanted a dangerous play, or what they would say high kick, which is a dangerous play, but I don't think that was.
Luke Brown hobbles away gingerly from a play. He's favoring the right leg. And a corner kick to Militar.
That was kind of interesting there. I thought Jacquel, instead of motion for the corner, which they actually got a corner, could have even got to that ball on the baseline. He didn't have anyone within 10 yards of him. Probably could have walked it in toward the 6.
Comes a chance for Militar. Ball is right in line with the goal. Headed away. Headed away by, I think that was 6. Lucchesi. Might have been 7. Spielman. Regardless, the white top heads it away. Another throw-in chance. Militar now. Between the legs of Militar, coming the opposite way. Contest has really slowed down in pace. The Bridge are building up opportunities. Kagen to the throw-in. Away from the ball, Kagen now, and we return back to action. Great camera work tonight by Julian Santamoro. Just follow the ball. And Tri-Cities FC and Virginia Beach United. Sounds like they're even at 2 in the 57th minute. So a 2-2 game. Ivan Militar now. Dearle boots it out of play. Well, no forward to Militar. Keeps it in. Rebollar. Rebollar now. Sees Militar, and that one goes right through.
Interesting choice there. I think he might have mishit that. He had Jacquel coming into a nice spot in a gap. He could have rolled the ball into him, let him hold it or play it off, but opted for something toward goal, and I think it just kind of got away.
Still a dangerous opportunity here for Lionsbridge FC in a 2-1 game, a game they certainly feel like they've got to win. They're back in action here at home on Wednesday against Virginia Beach United.
Rob couldn't set up better right now. I mean, they're in position to win this game. They've just got to manage the numbers. They've got to take advantage of chances that will come over the next 30 minutes of play, and got to just be smart and mature about situations and taking care of the game overall.
2/3 of the way through the contest, 30 minutes remain. Here goes Luke Brown. Ball goes out of play. Ball up in the air. Betz. Here comes a chance. Bouncing around. Now up in the air. Here comes another opportunity. Kagen goes down, no foul called. Here comes another chance inside. There goes Almubaslat. Almubaslat doesn't win the ball, and it is cleared by Kagen. Kagen now up to Brown. Brown will look for Jacquel, and hustling back to get it. Number 7, Spielman. Build of possession here, ball up and over the crossbar. We'll take a moment at this stoppage in play. Want to welcome back to Pomoco Stadium Jalen Brown, the man who scored the first goal in LBFC history and led the team with 7 goals last season. He's now serving our country as a 2nd lieutenant in the United States Air Force. They're welcoming home at the stadium from Yorktown, Virginia, Jalen Brown, number 4 for the squad last year, out of Laughlin Air Force Base in Del Rio, Texas. So a standing ovation here for Jalen Brown as he claps for the fans, and the fans give him some appreciation.
Yeah, that's well deserved, Rob. This guy's done a lot for the community, as a youth player, playing for local clubs, playing for Grafton High School, going on and seeing you, great career, playing minor league, going to Australia for a bit, playing professionally prior to coming back here and finishing at home with Lionsbridge. What a great way to end an excellent soccer career.
And hopefully we can get Jalen up into the booth to have a conversation with us. I think my good friend Mike Vest trying to make that happen. A shot up and over the crossbar.
Yep, what a good guy, man. Ambassador for the game. I had an opportunity to coach him on a few different levels as a club director way back in the day when he was a youngster. And then in the minor league system and the NPSL, coached him for a season. Pleasure to coach.
And the fans going wild for that. He's certainly not pleased, and I think that's James Ellis into the game. James Ellis, a recent sub here.
Yeah, I think it's a good substitution at this stage of the match, bringing on fresh legs. A young guy who can get up and down the flank with the priority on defending and making sure we don't get caught numbers down. So I think that's a good substitution.
So Luke Brown now. Brown up in the air. The fans making noise. Ball gets cleared away. We'll wait for Jalen Brown during this offensive opportunity. Jan will join us in the booth in just a moment. Talk about this community here and his career in the Newport News area. '65th minute into the game.
Your attention, please. It's last call for beer.
65th minute of the game. As we take this moment, we'll bring on Jalen Brown in just a second, but we'll take a moment to talk about Financial Security Group, sponsor of tonight's Defender of the Game. You can call 757-643-6200 to meet with Kevin Joyce, located in Newport News City Center, to protect, save, and grow your financial plan. Financial Security Group is a proud sponsor of Lionsbridge FC. Here comes a chance for the visitors in white, and no opportunity there for Dearle, and he'll make a goal kick. So welcome to the broadcast, Jalen Brown.
Thanks.
Welcome back. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. It's great to see the Bridge winning at the moment.
And Jalen, you were kind of a pioneer of the Lionsbridge franchise. You're the first to score. You led the team in scoring last year. Definitely made a big difference in getting this team off the ground. How's it feel to be back, and how's it feel to be such a big anchor in this team?
It's a great honor. I think the fan base kind of speaks for that, with how much behind the team they are, and it's really exciting to come back and see it getting even bigger, and the team being successful as well. So it's really exciting.
And I don't know how much Lionsbridge FC soccer you've gotten to watch this year. As that ball's crossed in, headed away. Dearle goes to get it on the outside. Chance not over. Now a rip and off of the defender. I think it was Scearce on the outside. So a corner kick coming for the Fusion. But after your season last year, it was kind of the end of your soccer career. After this corner kick, I want to talk about what your kind of entire soccer career has looked like in the Newport News, Hampton Roads area.
Sure.
As this has kind of been home for you for like the entire time you've played soccer. Corner kick to come for the Fusion. Send that ball low. The crowd goes wild. A shot in and deflected away. Now on the 18, Almubaslat. Shot and deflected by Ellis. Now cleared again, and another free kick given to the home team, and down goes, not sure who that is. Number 6, Gideon Betz, is down and injured, so they'll stop for that, and we can continue our conversation. So you played in high school at Grafton,
Correct.
right? And then you played here at CNU and had yourself a stellar career here. Obviously, some more luscious locks. Then you played in Australia, and now you got to play at Pomoco across the way from where you played here at CNU.
Yep, absolutely.
What was that soccer career like to culminate at Pomoco Stadium?
Yeah, it was that was really the perfect kind of ending. We had a good season with Lionsbridge, and after all the things that I did and traveled and got to come back home to this fan base with all these familiar faces and everything, from the coaching staff to the fans and everything, it was the perfect ending.
And you left last year on a pretty great note. I mean, you did such a great service to this community throughout the entire time you were playing soccer, but now you're doing even bigger things, serving this country at was it Laughlin Air Force Base in Texas?
Correct.
How has that experience been over the course of the last year, going through training and becoming an officer? And but I think Mike Vest was telling me you're flying planes now.
Yep.
It's a big change.
Yeah, it was in some ways it was a big change, and then in other ways it was familiar. So the military lifestyle is obviously very different from the soccer lifestyle that I've been used to for so long. But the work ethic and the drive to be successful in whatever it is that I'm trying to do, it felt similar. It's a really tough thing to do, to learn how to fly planes, just like it is to be a successful soccer player. And so the fact that I had to work hard to get to get to a certain point and then continue to grow throughout that was familiar. So.
Kevin, do you have anything for Jalen?
No, I just want to thank you for your service. I think that's a great great thing you're doing for the country.
Absolutely.
And, keep up the good work there. And,
Thank you.
I was fortunate. I was speaking a little bit earlier. I had an opportunity to spend some time with you, at different levels of the game and watch you as a young guy and see you play minor league and stuff. And what a pleasure, and speaks volumes for the area, to turn out some high-end players like yourself.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate it. It's my honor to serve, and I'm happy that I could be a part of this great community and this fan base, so supportive. Been my pleasure.
Jalen, before we get you out of here, I know I want to get you back to the people you came to the game with. Respect your time. You can enjoy the last 20 minutes of the game and the fireworks tonight. But anything that, you got to play, and I got to interview every now and then after games, but anything you want to say to the fans of Lionsbridge FC or the community that you got to play for so long?
Absolutely. I don't know if it's clear to them. I think that the players make it clear, but I'll just kind of reiterate the fact that they're so supportive, and the turnout that we get every single game to these events is just incredible, and it means so much to the players because they're all trying to be successful players, and everyone's out here working really hard, and it means so much that the people will come out game after game and keep watching and keep supporting. So thank them so much.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to come talk to us, Jalen. Thank you again for your service. And we got the chance to talk about, all of that you've done for the community on Memorial Day weekend. We made sure to mention you on the broadcast. I don't know how much soccer you get to watch these days, but getting the opportunity to say thank you again in person is certainly one that we don't want to miss. And
absolutely.
So thank you for all that, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your night. And we appreciate you.
Thank you so much, man.
Hey,
I really
have a
appreciate
good one, Jalen. That was Jalen Brown.
Seeing, take care.
Tonight's financial security group defender of the game. We'll send him off, and he can enjoy the rest of his night. Defender of the game, Jalen Brown, defending this country. Again, you can call 757-643-6200 to meet with Kevin Joyce, located in City Center, Newport News, to protect, save, and grow your financial plan. Financial Security is a proud sponsor of Lionsbridge FC, and the peanut gallery out there certainly not pleased with whatever it has been that's going on. And that ball up in the air, and an opportunity as we return back to action. Thought it was a great opportunity, Kevin, to sit down and talk with a man who means quite a bit to this community.
You said it there, Rob. A man, is a guy who's been a player all his life, but a great character player, now a great character, person who's serving the country and, just doing a lot for a bigger picture.
So through all of that, James Ellis came into the game for Ivan Militar. And also had Travis Cooke coming into the game for Thibaut Jacquel. So Travis Cooke taking the place of the man who's threatening his goals in a game record. It's 2-1 our score, and some spotty officiating according to the officials in the stands. But I digress.
Yeah, well, one thing you're seeing now is the fusion of pressing. They're pressing the tempo, the pace of the match. They're causing a little bit of trouble here, but there's going to be ebbs and flows in games. Lionsbridge just got to withstand, make sure the numbers are solid, the shape is good, understand time and score, risk versus reward, and just get this game continuing to move in the right direction, get hold of the tempo a bit. Maybe they get a goal against the run of play, although they're pinned in a little bit now. Sometimes the quick counter is to come.
73rd minute here in Newport News. That ball dangerous for Perryman. He boots it away. Trying to get an update on Virginia Beach and Tri-Cities FC. Here comes a chance. Inside, a clear chance on the outside. Shot on, saved by Dearle. Is rebound, and Dearle is there to clean it up. The other game we're looking at tonight, Tobacco Road and Wake. Tobacco Road at the half, winning 1-0 over Wake FC. Like 2-2 our score in Johnson City, Tennessee, per Virginia Beach United's Twitter page. 15 minutes to go in this contest. And another foul call, quite a bit of them tonight, Kevin. Foul called. That one on Staats.
Again, not an area you want to foul there. He didn't need to foul. He had good position. Just ended up reaching, diving in a bit. And you got to make better choices.
$15 minutes to go. A crucial game in the South Atlantic Division standings here. Night we're to end now. Still have 14 minutes to play, but if the night were to end now, Lionsbridge FC would catapult to the top of the table with 16 points. NCFC would be right there with Tri-Cities FC with Tri-City Otter, with 15 points apiece. Virginia Beach United would move up a spot with 13. And Wake and Tobacco Road would be down there with 11 and 10. That's if things end the way they are now. Now, when the broadcast ends, we'll give you an update as best we can. Don't forget fireworks after the game. Unfortunately, if you're at home watching, you're missing them. So if you're close enough to Pomoco, you can still make it in time. Park your car over by the Greek Village. That free ball scurries to the outside for a corner kick.
Well done by Scearce to track the runner and actually flick that on out of danger. Like to see our defenders kind of lock them up a little bit more, be a bit more physical here. Don't give them a free run or get any steam toward the ball. Rob, I think we're at the stage in the game here, especially with a 2-1 lead, to to manage this maybe a little differently. Game's pretty.
Shot in wide right. Travis Cooke thought he had one, and the save was made by Perryman.
I was going to say, the game's pretty wide open, back and forth. I think we need to begin to close it down, especially in that area in front of the center backs. Maybe outnumber them a bit, maybe drop a second guy into the hole, give some cover, make it a little bit more difficult for NC Fusion to find feet and find a build-up and find some rhythm there. Another answer would be scoring the third goal, certainly.
Substitution coming. I believe that's, not sure what the number is. That's 16 for Lionsbridge FC, Oscar Ramsay. And number 8, Kalen Suarez. Brown, low ball. Ricochets off ahead and out of play. To the outside, nice to keep it in. Ferguson to Ellis. Ellis, an acquisition from Wake FC mid-season. Ellis has found his home here rather quickly, scoring a goal against DC United on Wednesday. Comes here and is immediately an impact player.
Very composed player, good on the ball. I guess you guys saw him enough last year to know that. This is my first opportunity seeing him last game and again this game. But he's definitely impacted the play every time he's been a part of it.
Travis Cooke, Eneli to chase. Eneli looking to win the ball. And out of play, goal kick Perryman. You can kind of feel the tension starting to build up here in Pomoco. You know the fans want another goal.
I like what Coach Wally has done here. He's brought on Ramsay to sit in the center of the park side by side with Scearce, just to kind of button things up there, tighten up the middle of the field, and I think that's going to serve Lionsbridge well.
Beautiful night here in Newport News, coming to the 8:45 hour. 15 minutes to the top of the hour and the end of the broadcast. 10 minutes left in the game is a beautiful shot of the clock tower in main campus here on Christopher Newport University. Time's a ticking here in Newport News.
You know, one of the advantages of having that other holding midfielder kind of drop in there side by side is they can screen passes into the forwards, so not an easy entry pass. They can kind of screen that lane in between, not only winning balls but making it hard for any entry passes into the forwards.
Perryman slows the ball. Last time this Lionsbridge FC team played, they won 6-1. Today, a very different game here against the Fusion. Now, the Fusion here, coming off of a loss last Saturday, they played a week ago, had a week off, and have struggled to take advantage of the opportunities tonight. Certainly could be a 3-2 game the other way, wouldn't you say?
I mean, I think it's a fair scoreline right now with Lionsbridge up a goal. I think we've been the better of the teams, more chances, but NC Fusion has had some good chances. But, you know, you can look at that a lot of different ways, if, ands, or buts, and something. There was some saying about that one, huh? Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
I think my little brother Michael always says, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, the world would have a Merry Christmas.
That's probably true.
And time eaten by Dearle. Scoops and slows. 7 minutes and change, and just feels like the air is thicker. It's palpable here, Kevin. Fans want to breathe easy.
Hey, we're in win time here, huh? You got to figure out how to get that result, and right now we're positioned to do so. See if we can kill the game off and take the 3 points.
So yeah, it seems to be the offensive chances have slowed, and it appears to be let's look for opportunities to kill time than score goals.
Absolutely. Hey, time and score is everything right now. It's about the 3 points.
Wouldn't you prefer a dagger?
No.
Extra goal?
No, not whatsoever. I mean, you'll take one against the run of play.
You don't want to force it.
Right now, you got to button it up. I mean, you can't take chances and throw numbers forward. I mean, you got to prioritize what we want out of this game tonight. We want the result, want the 3 points. Certainly, you'll take a counter. You'll take the third goal, and that third goal will come if you keep it buttoned up, because the other team is going to have to leak out more and more. They don't have a choice, you know. If they want to try to get an equalizer, they're going to have to commit numbers forward, and they'll be susceptible to the counterattack and the third goal, and then the game is done at that point. I don't want that to be taken wrong. It's not that we wouldn't want the third goal, you know.
And I think Chris Wally is thinking the same thing as Jamie Gunderson is set to come on, a defensive replacement, and he comes on for Emeka Eneli. So it is very clear where head coach Chris Wally's mind is at with the late sub.
It's the right move. You know, I applaud Wally for that, Coach Wally. He understands results, time and score, and he's going to try to button this thing up.
The game becomes a defensive one here now for the final 5 minutes. And our game right in line with Virginia Beach United and Tri-Cities. As far as time is concerned, this one
What you see now is the priority for the midfield block, the 4 in midfield, is to just play deeper, to play more defensive, to be behind the ball, just to make sure that our numbers are always plus when NC Fusion's in possession. Can allow the 2 forwards to extend a little bit, but not to get too stretched. They should also be behind the ball, kind of directing play. They don't have to win it, just push it into some pockets, force it to the defenders. They'll get on with it from there. Good, just keep committing numbers around the ball.
After the game is over, be sure to stay tuned on Facebook Live for post-game interviews and analysis here with Kevin and I. We'll pick up a post-game interview, I would assume, with Thibaut Jacquel and head coach Chris Wally as another substitute to come. Sun still hasn't quite set. There's still just a bit of natural light coming from behind us. But you can tell the lights are on in the night sky in Newport News, and we're about 15 or so minutes away from fireworks. But what's more important than that is finishing the win here. Under 5 minutes to go as some subs are set. As Luke Brown comes off for Derek Cooke, another defensive substitution here. And if the Jamie Gunderson sub didn't tell you that we're looking to lock this thing up defensively, the Derek Cooke sub certainly does.
Well, he brought on Ramsay early and dropped him into the hole, so I think that was the first step. And Gunderson came on, and now Cooke came on. You know, you certainly don't want to totally stop playing in the attack or keeping the ball, but I think what he's doing is spot on. I mean, you got to button this game up. This is for the division lead. No bones about it. You know, he wants to walk out here tonight with that in place.
Forward go the bridge. Here comes an offensive opportunity on the outside. There goes Gunderson. Gunderson has a chance. Gives it up back to Ellis, and Ellis will slow things down. Try to call his own number. Gets tackled down. Very handsy. Ellis will slowly get back up, and here comes the counter attack. Things pick up.
Little surprise there. NC Fusion had some numbers, and they opted to play a real direct, quick, impatient ball over the top. Not only over the top, but straight over the top. The straight balls never seem to pan out unless they're in the feed or into high target's body in some capacity.
Ball ricochets off of a man in a white top, back into the 18. Ball kicked back, bad turnover here. Sam Henberg puts it up. Offsides the call. Kennedy Nawabi offsides.
Good organization by the back line just to step together as a group at the right time and took their forward offsides.
After the game, if you're watching on Cox Your View, make sure to follow Lionsbridge on Twitter and Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook Live, I'm sure you're already there, but don't miss a moment. Lionsbridge FC soccer this summer, like this one right here. Travis Cook settling in. Be sure to see the starters, post-game interviews, and other behind-the-scenes content by following the team on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Lionsbridge FC. Post-game interviews will be live on Facebook. We'll say goodnight on Cox Your View before we do just that. Almost bicycle attempt. Dearle didn't even bother getting in an athletic stance. I don't think he thought he was going to get there, and he certainly didn't. Good effort, though. And Dearle settles the ball down. 90th minute of play. We're into our stoppage time here. Remember, tonight's Man of the Match is brought to you by Riverside Sports Medicine. Riverside Sports Medicine offers comprehensive medical services, including primary care. Here comes Travis Cooke. We'll slow that down. Travis Cooke shoots. Stop, and here comes Jamie Gunderson to rock it in. Jamie Gunderson puts down, and the official says no. Gunderson get up, and some trash talk to come from Nick Spielman, and the counterattack ensues. The fans don't agree with it, but the players continue on. Great save there by Perryman to keep the team in the game. Those medical services that Riverside offers: primary care, sports medicine, orthopedic surgery, sports physical therapy, athletic training, and as Peninsula's premier sports medicine provider, the entire sports medicine team is focused on helping you stay active and keeping you in the game. Had to get that in here, 90 plus. 4 minutes of stoppage time. We'll get to our Riverside Man of the Match in a moment. Bad turnover there on the outside. Here come the near. That's number 10, Lapa. Lapa's played a full contest tonight, pushing forward, not there. And Dearle will slow things down and calm everybody for a moment. They'll wait to pick it up. Nice smart play by the man in net. Certainly the most gut-wrenching game of the year.
As you'd expect tonight, playing for the lead in the division. I fully anticipated this thing to be intense from start to finish, and it's been just that.
And out of play. It'll stay this way. And a yellow card given to Jamie Gunderson. And we've got a very colorful cast of cards tonight.
Jamie knew what he was getting into there. He put out the foul. He tried to stop the play early on and got booked for it.
Tri-City scores a 90th minute goal. Chance for Dearle, and he gets fouled, keeps it in front of the net, and a great save by Dearle. He grabs his leg, though, and slows things down. I'm not sure if he's injured. He's holding on to that ball and making sure there's no one around him, and does get up slowly and gingerly. Update from Tri-Cities. Tri-Cities currently winning in the 92nd minute. They're in extra time. And if that result holds, they'll maintain, or they'll pick up their spot at the top of the table. Now, if this result remains, it'll be Tri-Cities with 17, Lionsbridge with 16, NCFC with 15, Virginia Beach with 12, Wake with 11, and Tobacco Road with 10. Ball crossed over. Dearle reads it over the net. Good reading by Dearle. So a Tri-Cities win tonight does not do wonders for Virginia Beach, as they fall down towards the bottom of the table. And of course, as soon as I say that, trying to keep up with their game, Virginia Beach United knots things up at 3. So things are wild down there in Johnson City, Tennessee, but we'll go back to Tobacco Road and Wake being at the bottom of the table, and Lionsbridge just fighting it out for a top spot in the table with 4 games remaining. And again, Kevin, I go back to that thought that this is definitely the most gut-wrenching game of the year.
Excellent. It's what we want to see, man.
Another chance. Here comes an opportunity to shot on. Dearle can't get there, but it's a wide right chance, and Dearle doesn't touch the ball, thankfully, so the ball boys will take their sweet time getting that ball to the highlighter in net. And tonight has been crazy, to say the least. Crazy. Crazy here, crazy in Johnson City. We're just waiting for the official's final whistle, and for the last 15 minutes, Kevin, we've just been pent up in just angst. There goes Scearce.
I think you're going to get a whistle here any second.
Scearce goes down. Gunderson trying to just push the ball out of play. They'll hold on to it. And Kevin, as we finish things out here, what are your final thoughts?
That's a great job by Lionsbridge, provided we kill this game off and they blow this whistle here in a second. You know, we came into tonight, you know, with a chance of taking the top spot in the division, not knowing what was going to happen in the other matches in the USL, but we've done our part here, controlled our own destiny tonight, showed a lot of resolve, you know, while things got tough down the final 15 minutes. Fought off the charge by NC Fusion, and by all accounts here, going to take 3 points.
I want to thank our guys here at Pomoco Stadium, Mike Santamoro, Julian Santamoro, Austin Gregory, and the production crew, John Rector downstairs, our friends in Cox at Cox Cable, Kevin Darcy in the booth, and Rob Smith. The fans begin to rumble. We're into the 94th minute. The fans can feel it. They're just ready to break out in jubilation. And the official stops. They play the ball. And there's your final whistle. Lionsbridge FC picks up the big 2-1 victory. A little bit of jawing down in the bottom corner, but Lionsbridge FC picks up the win. They're at the top of the table. We've got 4 games to go. Next one here on Wednesday night against Virginia Beach United to finish up the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup presented by Langley Federal Credit Union. He's been Kevin Darcy. I've been Rob Smith, and we are out of time. We'll head to Facebook Live for post-game interviews. But until next time, for those of you at Cox, I wish you the smoothest of sailing. Good night. we're here post-game with Rich. You guys have put out in a second half. I think the defensive second half was even bigger than the offensive first half. How did you direct your back line and keep things intact for that clean sheet in the second half, which is huge?
Yeah, well, listen, the boys are good at keeping themselves intact anyway. They communicate, they know what they need to do, they know the jobs they need to do. I'm just there. I'm as the last man. I'm just, this is your guy, this is your guy. It's pretty simple for me. They're the guys who have to track their man and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, fair play to the defence as a unit as well. Fantastic tonight.
Top of the table after a tie game with Tri-Cities FC and Virginia Beach United, sitting at the top of the South Atlantic. How does it feel to be number one for now?
Feels good, but we can't rest on our laurels. We're top for now, but we've got to keep working hard and hopefully we can stay there.
Anything you want to say to these fans before you go enjoy the fireworks for the rest of your night?
You fans are magnificent. Thank you very much for coming out. Well done to you all. Well done.
I'll get you go enjoy the rest of your night and your fireworks. Have a good one. We'll talk later.
Thank you.
All right, I'm here with Chris Wally, head coach of Lionsbridge FC. And first thing I want to say is last year this team picked up 4 wins. This year, this is number 5. How does it feel to have a more successful more successful year with the wins than you did last year picking up?
Well, we're top at the league, aren't we? So I'll take that every day of the week.
Next game is on Wednesday against Virginia Beach United. A gutsy performance, scoring a tie goal in the 90th minute tonight. What's the game plan to pick up the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup on Wednesday?
I think Virginia Beach have proven they're a good team. They've picked up some good results of late. But we've done the same thing. So ultimately for us, we've just got to go out and play the way we've been playing. 15 goals in 4 games at home. I don't think anybody wants to play us at our place right now. With the fans we've got the best fans in the league, no doubt. All right? Nobody wants to play us here. Nobody.
And talk us through the way your defense played in the second half. A lot of big defensive changes from, it was Oscar, I think. You put in Gunderson and Cooke near the end. How do you think your team played defensively in the second half?
Yeah, I think as a group we really defended well. Just a gritty, blue-collar performance. I think their keeper made a great save. I thought the ref was a little bit, I don't know. Well, there we go. But with us, we've got the best crowd, we've got the fans. Maybe that was our 12th man tonight. But I know the boys worked really, really hard. I'm really proud of them. Now we just got to keep winning games, and it's simple as that, isn't it?
Another win at home, and I'm sure the fans are happy, but I'm sure they're even happier about another header at home.
Yeah, sorry, no crazy bread, but everyone likes chicken, right?
Everyone likes chicken, and I think everyone likes fireworks. I think we're about to enjoy them. 2-1 final tonight. Lionsbridge FC at the top of the table, back in action on Wednesday night to hope to bring home the Coastal Virginia Challenge Cup, brought to you by Langley Federal Credit Union. We hope to see these beautiful fans here on Wednesday night. And if you're at home watching, why not join us? Thanks for tuning in, though, at home. And fans, it's time for fireworks in a couple minutes. You guys ready to go? I think they're ready to go, which means it's time for me to go. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday night at home. I'm Rob Smith, signing off.